As you guys saw already, the light heavyweight title is now vacant. Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight. We now have a headliner for UFC 327 in Miami. It's going to be Yuri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg, which is what we've been hearing for a long time. However, for the last couple weeks, there's been reports out there that it wasn't going to be Yuri and Ulberg. It was going to be Yuri and Khamzat Chimaev. And that didn't end up being true, but that didn't stop other outlets from reporting it, stating it as a fact. Here's just a quick example from West Till Death, saying Khamzat Chimaev and Yuri is set for April 11th in Miami, Florida, per Kevin, real Kevin K. We're going to be talking about here in today's video. We had another Instagram post saying, is rumored to headline. This is a little bit better, rumored to headline, but you can see here, when people see a checkmark account like this that says it's set for the main event happening, you're going to get a lot of people thinking it is happening. And fighters fall for this, fans fall for this. This is something I've talked about at length on my streams, is check the proper sources when it comes to news. And this has become a problem. And I got to give a shout out here to a guy by the name of Jamie Lannister, who did a tweet thread. We're not going to read the whole thing here, a tweet article, I should say, just talking about how this came about, the backtracking, and how this is not the way you break news in the industry. And listen, Kevin's got things right before, but the issue is when he gets things wrong, there's no accountability. And that's a huge issue in this industry, because he's going to continue to report things and then people are going to say, well, you got this right. Yeah, but there's a way of doing it right and doing it wrong. So let's check out this thread here from Jamie. He says, in the fast-paced MMA world, a leak fight announcement can spread through the community faster than fire, as I just showed you guys. We all crave the inside scoop. We love to know news before our friends and the rest of the world. This is where Kevin steps in, a reporter who's turned a fabrication into his 9 to 5, which should be noted that Kevin doesn't work for an outlet. Like, he's just his own social media account. So that's one thing to keep in mind right off the bat. You look at all the people breaking news. You look at Ariel, you look at Marcel, you look at Nolan King, Mike Bond, anyone that's in the industry, they work for a major outlet. And that's where the credibility comes in with that stuff. Because guess what? If they get something wrong, they're going to get in trouble at their work, right? You think Nolan King gets something wrong in MMA Junkie, he's going to hear about it from his bosses. And that's why they're very hesitant to put news out there. Legitimate journalists and insiders spend months and years vetting contacts and confirming, like he says this perfectly. Shout out to Jamie, man. He does such a good job of this. Confirming leaks while Crazy Kev spends 5 minutes on X, concocting fantasies, his latest masterpiece, this completely baseless claim that Khamzat Chimaev is jumping to 205 to fight Yuri Prochazka for a vacant title. It's bold and exciting, but it's a lie. If you've ever been treated like a casual fan, you can tell from the fact from fiction. We read along. Here's why this source is the single greatest threat to media credibility today. So this is the tweet. It's a real tweet. It's not AI generated. Again, we showed you the social media posts of other people running with it. Every time an account like this hits a post on a lie, the foundation of MMA journalism cracks a little bit further. We are witnessing, I mean, he articulates this very well. He says, we are witnessing a ruthless race to the bottom with other accounts in the space, such as Ruben Carter. Legitimate outlets, the ones who actually pick up the phone and do sources, are being drowned out by pure sensationalism. It's a war for your attention, and the weapons are fake graphics, breaking news sirens. Oh my goodness. Excellent. Well said. Well said. Algorithms are trapped through rage farming. Explosion of fake news leads to polluted feed. Right? So he's right. So people just kept running with this. Now, here's Kevin's backtrack. I don't see an apology. I don't see anything here. It says, Khamzat Chimaev was told his next fight, this was his next fight, and was training for the fight, but ultimately the UFC changed their mind after UFC Houston went with Carlos, and went with Carlos Ulberg, Yuri Prochazka for the vacant title. Even if that's true, let's just say that's the case, and he's showing the screenshot here. Like, why would you not report it that it was done? Or why wouldn't you at least say it's in the works or something? He says there's nowhere here where he says it's in the works or it's rumored or anything like that. He says it is for the 327 main event. That's the big issue here. If he had said rumor, and I'm very careful about this too. You guys will know I do videos where I say report or something and it's coming from someone legitimate that has a good track record. If I do any content like that, because I'm very careful about that. I don't just because I see something on here, and I had people messaging me. They're like, why aren't you talking about the Chimaev and Yuri fight? And I'm like, because it's not coming from a place that has a lot of credibility. So they were told that, but in the end, he wasn't given it. A fight is done when the contracts are signed. That's journalism 101, right? Like, that's common sense. This is the most dangerous state of the scam. By posting a cropped anonymous direct message, the digital equivalent of trust me, bro, he attempts to gaslight his 1.6 million viewers into believing that the fight was real until the very last second. So anyways, and you can see the comments here, some people making fun of him. The matchmaker chimes in, great comment here. You know what, his anonymous source is cropped. He didn't crop it well enough. The prospect is Khamzat. We can see the profile picture. You should not be relying on fighters for your sources. You know, management makes sense because obviously they have a hand in the negotiations. Teammates are not great sources when it comes to verifying things when it comes to source. And also, you always get two sources. That's just common sense. You always get at least two sources from each side. You don't run with one side just because they say it's done, because stuff can happen. Contracts can fall apart. Things can go on. This is why this happens. Blaine chiming in if you only knew. Yeah, let's see. It's mostly just people dunking on him. But the issue and the whole point of this video, and again, like, the issue is the no accountability and the fact that people trust this as a source. El Fuego says something great here. Kevin doesn't think fans are stupid. He just doesn't care. He's in this for one thing only. All he wants are the likes and retweets. It's embarrassing. He needs to be shamed, blocked, and exiled from the community. He is a cancer. I don't need to say it that harshly, but it is an issue where, again, people, fighters, everyone, like, you see people on podcasts being like, I heard this fight's happening. Look where the source is coming from. I want to do this video because Kevin is not a trusted source. And I've been talking about him for years. People don't seem to listen, obviously, because we're still getting reports like this. We need to do a better job of vetting this stuff out, or at least spreading the word. Because yes, while he does get some things right, it's not enough for him to back up the bad things. That's the issue. Ariel gets stuff wrong. Very rarely Ariel will get stuff wrong. Marcel's been wrong maybe once or twice. It doesn't happen over, this amount of time when it comes to credibility. And, yeah, you just see the comments, people are catching on. And the reason I wanted to do a video about this, because Kevin's been wrong before. The reason I wanted to do a video about this is that if he was right somehow, he would be getting praised. His career would go to another level. If he had somehow got this right and did it properly and this fight was a thing, then he's going to be the biggest deal in MMA media right now, because that's a massive fight to announce and break. But he took the risk. If you take the risk that a fight this big is going to work out and it doesn't work out, then you have to face the consequences, in my opinion. And the consequences are, we should not just let this slide. I want people, if you're watching this video, to not trust Kevin when it comes to news. I want you don't have to block him, do whatever you want. I'm not about censorship or anything, but I think at the very least, you should stop referencing him when it comes to reports. I know people like to talk about inside fights. It's a fun thing to do. I get it. There's even people on here that I'm sure don't even care about this. I understand all that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when Kevin does a report like this, he and everyone that watches MMA, there's a lot of people out there that lump the media in together. So they lump Kevin in with Ariel Helwani, and that's just not fair. Ariel Helwani's done, and say what you want about Ariel. If you don't like him, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point of the matter is Ariel Helwani's been a full-time employed journalist in this space for a very long time. So is Marcel, so is Nolan King, so is all these guys. They have made a very good, they've done a very good job of carving out a career, and it does not need to be tainted by people like this who don't do the proper homework and don't do the proper due diligence when it comes to breaking fights. So that's something that needs to be kept in mind. I get so tired when I hear people say the media sucks, and then they're lumping in stuff like this. And it's like, this isn't the same thing. This is the equivalent of an open micer going to a comedy show for the first time and doing a set and not having any experience and getting booed off stage, being compared to like Kevin Hart. That's what this is. It's not the same thing. You can call yourself a comedian because you did one open mic. That doesn't mean you're the same level as someone else. And that's something that needs to be talked about a lot more. And this isn't just MMA. I see this in other sports as well too, but we gotta push back on this stuff. There's got to be more people being vocal about this news that doesn't end up happening. Again, this is a prelim fight, big deal. Who cares? This is one of the biggest fights in UFC history that they could have put together. This stuff needs to get called out. So that's why I'm doing this video, to just, again, spread the word. Stop buying into this nonsense. Again, we also had some news a couple weeks ago about Tom Aspinall vacating his title and leaving the UFC. Where's that right now? Again, same thing. If you're going to talk about stuff like that, that's that big, you better be right. And if you're not, people like this need to be condemned. So that's all I'm saying. Not trying to be a hater, but I am hating on this type of, news reporting. It's really annoying. I don't even break news. Like, that's not really my thing. And part of the reason I don't is because I don't ever want to be wrong, just in case, because you never get praised for a good fight announcement. You only get, the flack. But I find, like, for whatever reason, Kevin's sort of immune to it, and people are still, believing his reports. So again, fight never happened. Fight was BS. Don't buy into it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw this report. Did you guys take this seriously? Was there anyone there? And if you did, I don't blame you. I also don't blame these accounts for running for it, but that's your first warning. If you posted it and said the fight was set and you reference this guy, you need to know going forward not to reference him and take it seriously. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.